Hello, and welcome to Up Close on METV. I'm Charles Clapsaddle, station manager for Manatee Educational Television. And on this edition of Up Close on METV, we're very pleased to have with us two individuals to talk about a very special event that's coming up this week. First of all, please welcome Dr. Richard Connard. Dr. Connard, so good to see you again, sir. Thank you very much for coming and talking about this very special event that's coming up.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate the invitation to speak about this because, as you know, this will be our second annual remote area medical program, and last year we really enjoyed a blockbuster event that we held at the Manatee Technical College on 70 East.
And it's a wonderful event. We want to get into the details of that. But I also want to introduce your very special guest, Deborah Starr. Deborah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
having me. And it's so nice to see you again and talk about this new component of this very special event.
Right.
Now, and this is a very special and unique component as well. But first of all, Dr. Connor, this RAM event is the second annual event that's being held here in Manatee County. And for those out here in our community that don't know what RAM is or the full extent of what the program is, give us a little background if you may.
You bet, I'll be delighted to. RAM is the largest charitable organization in America that brings free health care clinics to communities by invitation. When I had reviewed one of their events in late 2014, I was humbled by what I saw because we've got a tremendous population who are medically underserved or medically indigent. Mm-hmm. And as we know from the result of a study done by United Way, we have 41% of our population who literally qualify to need a RAM mm-hmm. event. And what, to put it in perspective, what RAM does, they over the period of the last 31, 32 years have developed the way of bringing mobile equipment and supplies and a team to run an event in a given community. The community then creates a host committee, and that host committee handles all the logistics of bringing the healthcare providers and also interested and concerned citizens to help triage and process the patients. And then we basically have the event whereby medical, dental, visual, and in our case, healthcare education mm-hmm. has been put together.
Well, I must say, and for those who are not familiar with the very huge success of last year's event, it was a tremendous success and a great benefit to the community. There were people who got there I think they stayed overnight the night before. People, you get it by ticket. They grant tickets for the people in line. And there was a full range of services that were provided by physicians and dental professionals in this area. Dental, visual, eye testing. There was a full medical component as well. It was an extraordinary event for people, as you said, who are underserved and indigent perhaps and can't afford that full extent of medical care. It was a wonderful event, and it did a great good in this community.
Yeah, thank you, Charles. And as you know, it was basically a long day and a half. We did Saturday and midday to Sunday last year, mm-hmm. and we learned at that we unfortunately had to turn away more than we saw. And we saw over 1,800 people for medical, dental, visual, and health educational programming. Gave away over 460 pair of prescription glasses. Mm-hmm. RAM comes to town with a vehicle that can literally make over 500 pair of glasses a day.
That's tremendous.
And we just had a lot of that type of response to things. The 150 vouchers for mammography were given out. 84 Papa Nicolau spares were done for the ladies. And one of the things that we learned is probably RAM will now be literally the annual exam for numerous people in this community who have been way, way underserved prior to that time. But the second thing that we learned was that these same people have small animals, cats and dogs. And so after our last year's event, we decided let's expand it to 3 days this year. And let's also reach out to the Animal Network to see if they would like to participate with us and do a veterinary component to that.
And that's where you bring
that's
in
where I come in.
the lovely Deborah Starr,
Right.
who is PR and marketing manager for the Animal Network. And Deborah, your passion and dedication for animal services throughout Manatee County is a well-deserved reputation. You continue to do above and beyond what most ordinary people couldn't do, but you do an extraordinary job. I'd like to hear a little bit about that kind of development of that partnership between it's a wonderful concept to reach out for those people who are underserved and say, hey, listen, they may have an animal, they may have cats and dogs.
And they probably do, since most people have statistically have pets. And there was an interview in the newspaper, and doctor had written, next year we'd like to include animals, and I read the paper and I went, project, yay, I need a project. I had just come back from the summer and I didn't have a project, so this was my new project, and I knew someone who knew him, called him, and we had lunch, and it was just a great partnership from the beginning. Then it was a matter of, how are we going to do this? Because we didn't have a model per se. We didn't have the experience doing it, so we kind of used the RAM model, but then you have to adjust it for 500 animals sitting in a parking lot, and we needed help. So Animal Network, what we'd like to do is bring the community together anyway, so it was right up our alley, and we got several different groups in the area who are leaders also in animal care, and formed kind of a little coalition just for this, which hopefully will keep going, called Suncoast Animal Alliance. And
you have a lot of great partners.
Yeah,
Can you tell us, share with us some
Humane
of those
Society Manatee County, which they're already doing so much in the community. Humane Society Lakewood Ranch, which is serving more of the Sarasota area. Nate's Honor Rescue, which is an amazing organization. Cat Depot, which is tremendous for the cat aspect. Animal Rescue Coalition, known as ARC, which does a lot of the low-cost spay-neuters. And then Animal Services came in as a partner, because they're the ones who are going to benefit a lot from this, and we really need to help with it's a community problem, not their problem.
And it's a wonderful opportunity for someone who's limited means perhaps, and who would like to bring their cat or dog to find out what services might be available. Tell us a little bit about what's going to be available for people who bring their animal, or cats and dogs only.
Right, cats and dogs only, healthy cats and dogs. It's not a sick clinic, and that's really important to say. It's not, this cat or dog is in distress. We're not set up for that. We are set up to help, thanks to Manatee Community Foundation also, who has contributed. So it's been a really great experience and coalition of people putting forth their time, their money, and also their manpower for this, because this is a lot. This is a big effort. We've been working on it since last year, right? But what's going to basically be is you're going to come with your dog or your cat, up to 5 per family.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a
So
lot.
you have multiple pets.
Right.
You can bring up to 5.
Up to 5.
You have 2 dogs, 3 cats, or whatever it is, and bring them to the clinic.
Right. We're going to have cat carriers there, because some people walk up with a cat in their arm, and it's not good with dogs around.
Sure.
So we'll have some cat cages. We'll have some leashes and collars for people who may not have the right equipment. So we're going to have that all spotted out and assist people. And then we'll do the same model where you're going to get a number, and then you'll get called, you'll get registered, and then each pet will see a veterinarian for a very brief exam, a health exam, and get shots.
Right.
And really exciting, they're not only going to get their shots, but they're going to get a microchip and a county tag for Manatee County, so that if that animal gets lost, they don't end up at Animal Services.
And which is a really good idea.
That's
because
huge.
then it overtaxes Animal Services.
Right.
And I want to put the information up on the screen specifically about the veterinary services that are available, and that is going to be on November 11th.
Right, on Friday, this Friday.
This coming Friday, and its registration begins at
10 o'clock.
And if you get there at 10 o'clock, you register your
Well,
pets.
at 10 o'clock, you'll get a number,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll start calling those numbers at 11.
No, that's terrific.
And, yeah. And if you come earlier, we can probably hand out.
And this will go throughout the course of the day. So you'll go to 3 o'clock or so?
We'll go to about 3 o'clock, and we hope we're all set up to do 500 animals. We've got
That's
6
wonderful.
veterinarians and about 12 vet techs, and then lots of volunteers. So we're really excited about it. Again, it's the first time at the party, so we have to, we'll learn a lot.
But the shots, the tag, the microchip, those are great services to provide for individuals who may not be able to afford that, and especially if you have multiple pets.
Right.
And it's a wonderful thing for this community to have your animal tagged and microchipped as well. So it's kind of a win-win situation.
Right. And the best thing for the community is we're also offering free spay-neuter. And that's what we
fabulous.
really hope to get across, is the idea to people. It's an educational thing. We don't need you to breed your dog. We don't need you to breed your cat. Be responsible, and let's curtail this flow into the shelters and the
Wonderful.
rescues. So everyone's going to have an opportunity. They're going to have a voucher, and then they will be able to go get free spay-neuter regardless of if it's an 80-pound dog or a little kitten.
Well, that's a really great thing to do, because some people don't know that there's spay and neuter clinics out there or available, and it's responsible for pet owners to do that.
Right, and it's expensive. If you wanted to get your 80-pound dog done, it would be very expensive. And here's an opportunity to get it done for free. Do the right thing. And I always urge people, if you think you want to breed, go visit Animal Services and go look at the 174 dogs there.
And I have to stress, not only these services that are being provided specifically for the vet services, but also for the human services, for the dental and vision and stuff. This is all free.
All free.
Yeah.
This is completely free to the user who wants to come there and get their voucher and wait in line. And I remember last year when we were there taping this for you, Dr. Connor, there was a line. Everybody was so enthusiastic. You had so many volunteers who were very helpful. But people were so appreciative of the fact that they were being seen by a dentist or an ophthalmologist or a doctor, that they were getting that attention that they required.
I think that's a good point, because this represents, I think, something that you're hitting on. That is what a caring community that we've got in Manatee County. When Deborah and I met, we decided let's see what the response of the veterinarian community would be. So she and I went to their association and shared with them what we had in mind. We literally left that one meeting with enough veterinarians to almost meet every need that she had with it. And it's just like last year, we had over 750 volunteers that had registered, another 150 that just came, and then in the education booth, there were between 250 and 300 people there. We've just got a very caring community that when you give them a vision of what can be done, for example, what Deborah has done, she's taken a lot of individual efforts in the animal network and she's given them a vision of what could happen if we all came together and basically had sort of a family affair, not only the human side but the pet side of that. And as she just related, they've responded. Just responded in spades.
And it's the same way for the dentist and everything.
Absolutely.
People respond to this wonderful organization and want to give back. And I think that's a remarkable thing. And the coalition that you put together, Deborah, of all these different organizations, I don't think you had to call them and ask them twice, did you?
Oh, no. And it's their mission anyway. So it was like, here's an opportunity to do it in a big way. What you do every day, we can do in a big way. And we can keep, it's not going to solve the problem, but it's certainly going to make a nice dent, and it's going to help X number of people and X number of families with pets. And that's the whole goal, is to start making a difference and open people's eyes up that this is a problem, because there's also we have a very privileged society also, that sometimes you don't see that these problems exist.
And one of the key things, and I'm sure when the two of you put your minds together to try to come up with this, is that a lot of people who are underserved or indigent, they'll forego things for the sake of their pet.
That's very true.
And they will,
Yeah.
simply, do this. Now you're kind of serving the best of both, But I
Right.
want to go through some of these, key things here. First of all, this is a wellness for the pets. It's a wellness check. You're going to get vaccines, microchipping for any dog or cat, and who can't afford the medical kit, and it's only dogs and cats.
Only
somebody
dogs. Yeah, can't bring
their
your llama.
hamster
Right.
or whatever.
We're not equipped.
Spay and neuter vouchers, flea and tick treatments for
Right.
people, which I think is, and your county tags.
The county tag only for Manatee, because
Correct.
Sarasota is more
That's a
complicated,
different
but
thing.
we will have everything for them that they can go to Sarasota and get their tag.
Which is
So-
wonderful. And you'll have people from Sarasota because
Yeah.
it's a wonderful, the word
Yeah,
is
and that
out
was
there.
a big difference too, is expanding to, last year were you just Manatee?
Yes, we do see this as a Manatee Sarasota effort
Exactly.
at this point. And I tell you, a good example of that is the nice interface that we're having with the Patterson Foundation.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Last
wonderful.
year they came to the event and had donated and handed out over $12,000 worth of books
Excellent.
to children. And in my going back to them for participation this year, they are more than stepping forward to be
Yeah.
helpful.
What about the food too?
The food, yeah, we've got the food's going to be basically in two ways. Food is for the volunteers, and then food for the patients who come.
That's excellent.
We're set up. For example, Salvation Army is making for me 3,000 sack lunches.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
3,000.
Yeah, that we'll be handing out. And our food program is mainly put together by the various area Rotary clubs
great.
who not only donate the money for the food, but then are coming to help with the serving of that food.
Right.
As I pointed out, people arrive quite early. To get their voucher and their pass to get in, and I want to go through those times, specifically so people are aware of this. But the turnout for organizations and volunteers is tremendous. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really great to see these young people and seniors all
Right.
out there volunteering, giving that extra added effort to help those people in need.
And also something to stress is that the cost of this is completely borne by the various donors, organizations, and businesses in the community. This will not be spending any taxpayer money whatsoever.
I mean,
and it's
flu
a
shots. Don't forget the flu shots.
Oh,
this
well,
is pretty neat.
Let me tell you, Walgreen Pharmacy steps up for me, and they come and do entirely all the adult flu shots.
Wonderful.
The public health group with Dr. Jen Bency
Right.
come and handle all the pediatric flu shots.
Wonderful.
And then on top of that, there are a lot of giveaways and handouts. Walgreens brings a great big goodie bag for us and provides those as well. They have been just overly gracious in this
Yep.
event.
And I think, again, I just want to reemphasize and hear your thoughts on it. This is dental, vision, medical care for anybody who needs it. All you have to do is get in line, get your ticket, get your voucher, and we'll talk about the numbers in a minute. But you don't need any insurance, you don't need any medical records, and you don't even have to have a proof of citizenship.
Not at
for
all.
that.
You're not
You
asked
just-
any personal questions.
You're there to help. You are there to help people in medical need. So, but this is on a first come, first served basis.
It is, and what
You
we
know,
found last year is literally people started getting there 8 at 9 o'clock at night,
night before,
and camping out the night before the
Right.
event to be sure that they would get a ticket. And I'm sure that same thing will happen this year.
Oh, sure.
One of the things that I was really stricken by when we had to get that logistic put together, I went to my good friend Sheriff Stubbe and asked if he could be helpful to me on traffic control, crowd control, and security control. And hardly before I could get the sentence out of my mouth, he said, "Hey, we're there for you." They came and did a marvelous job. But what was interesting was a point that you brought out. We had no crowd control problems. We had no security problems. This was a coming together of people with a need and healthcare providers and general group helpers to bring health care for them.
And you know, it was extraordinarily, you know, well ordered circumstances. You had all these people, and they would go from one station for the triage to another station for treatment to another station, and it was just very well organized and a very well ordered crowd to begin with. But again, first come, first serve. And I think that there's, you know, tickets that are distributed for people to come in, and then if they need to, they can come back the next day if they didn't get served on the first day. Is that correct?
That's correct, and they have to choose what service they want when they come.
Right.
And they can't get just a whole potpourri of services.
Right.
So what they can do is they can come all 3 days and get a different service each day if they wish. Something else that we need to also mention is, you know, we've got one of the largest federally qualified health centers in the Southeast United States.
Correct.
MRC Health Care Services.
MCR Health Services.
MCR Health Service. Yeah, it was the old Manatee Rural Health. They've changed their image a little bit. Mickey Perche has been such a huge donor in this, not only with the economy of money, but also with personnel and support and supplies and everything.
It's a wonderful organization.
Doing a tremendous job in our community,
And I do want to point out too that this, you know, people are there and on point and ready to help because your doors open quite early on the days in question. And you open what, at 6 a.m., is that correct?
We open at 6, but we start handing out tickets at 3 o'clock in the morning. And
I know.
yeah, and you know what we found is you just have to do that if you're going to have a full day of clinic.
Right.
And the efficiency of the way the remote area medical people come in and during the day of the event somewhat manage all of this logistics that are put together.
And there's quite a bit.
Is remarkable.
There's quite a bit to do there, you know, and give people, and you have a tremendous outpouring of support. We're kind of winding down a little bit, and I want to reinforce some of the times and dates in there. First of all, hats off to you, Dr. Connor, for again kind of, you know, spearheading this. And again, hats off to you for bringing Deborah Starr involved with this, with this new component, which I think is really an added benefit for all of those people who have pets and just can't afford to, you know, the services.
A family affair this year.
Yeah, it's a full family.
And you couldn't ask for a better person than Deborah to get things organized. So let's go through the details on this. For the pet veterinary clinic under the RAM auspices will begin this Friday, November 11th. Registration begins at 10 a.m.
We do anticipate people might be there earlier, but not spending the night with their pets. Hopefully, it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that big of a deal to get there 9:30, something like that. Get you a number at 10 and start seeing people at 11, and we'll be able to do 500 by 3 o'clock.
And hats off to you, Deborah, for putting together that coalition of all these wonderful organizations
done so much work.
that are going to be there with all the vets and vet techs that are going to be there to try to help out. So they'll be able to get wellness checks, vaccines, microchipping for any dogs or cats. No llamas.
Right, no
involved.
llamas, we said.
But what a wonderful opportunity. And then spay and neuter voucher will be available for everyone who needs it. Flea and tick treatments, and one of the key things, you'll be able to get your county tag.
Your county tag if you're in Manatee. And we also have some women or some volunteers who have decided they wanted to do a pet food drive. So we anticipate we're going to have bags of food for people to go home with as well.
Option too.
Same with the human side of it. There will be food that is being donated that'll be handed out. And, you know, one thing I didn't stress enough of, Charles, is that this is a Manatee and Sarasota event. In fact, this year Sarasota Memorial Hospital is providing our 150 vouchers for the mammography.
Wonderful thing to do that. And you know, I would suggest that's a key ingredient for women who out there who can't afford that to get that voucher and have their mammography test done. Let me go through the details about for the family side of this. You open the doors on Friday. Are you serving people on Friday?
Friday, yes.
Friday, 11:11, 11:12, and 11:13. On Friday, you're going to be from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, 11:12, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then on Sunday, 6 to 12. And those are all going to be at the Manatee Technical College right up here on State Road 70.
Right, 70 East, right.
Right, and the
70.
pet
Right.
clinic is right behind it at
Braden
Bradenton
River.
River. And they've
Right.
given us 3 big classrooms that they use for their vet tech program.
Yeah.
And it's just perfect. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. And
Neat.
both MTC and Braden River have just been amazing, opening the door for us and helping us coordinate all the little pieces that have to be coordinated.
We have to give a hats off to Doug Wagner, too,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Manatee Technical
Doug
College for
Wagner
their
and
help.
and the whole Manatee County School District. Dr. Green is very involved with this, as well as several of the board members. Yeah.
Well, we're going to be there on Friday documenting the vet portion of it, and we're also going to be there, on Saturday trying to get, some
Right.
of the, because it's really important to show not only the outpouring of resources and services that you're providing, but how the great turnout of volunteers that are providing the service.
Right.
Unfortunately, we're out of time today. Deborah, it was so great to see you.
Yep.
A wonderful combination of events here. This has been a wonderful event last year for Manatee County, but adding this component really does make a difference.
Yep, I think it really will, and we're really hopeful that everybody comes out, and we are so appreciative. We have more volunteers than we need,
Right.
but everybody can go on to the ramusa.org website, learn more about RAM, learn about our coalition and what you're doing, and be a part of it.
It's a wonderful organization. Mr. Brock going to be there? Stan
be
Brock?
there. He'll be
Stan
there.
Brock, the
founder.
founder of
and
this
president.
underneath, a wonderful individual. And here in Manatee County, he's found a great team to help continue his efforts, which are are legendary.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough about both of you, stepping forward to provide this really valuable service.
Well, thank you, Charles.
So, Dr. Connor, Deborah, thank you. We're going to see you this weekend
we'll see you Friday.
on Friday and on Saturday and Sunday. Get a lot of rest between
I know,
now
it's
and.
going to be a big, big day.
Are you going to be handing out tickets at 3 a.m. and for?
No.
But we don't even have to answer that.
I am volunteering Saturday, but I told them I don't know what time yet, because we have to see what Friday knocks out of me first.
Right.
But Dr. Connor, this is your second year being involved in this,
yeah.
and you obviously are committed and passionate about providing great medical care and attention to individuals. But putting all of this together to serve this community, hats off to you,
Yeah,
and
thank
continued
you.
good luck and continued success in what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Charles. Appreciate that.
And thank you for joining us on this special edition of Up Close on METV. If you want to find out additional information about the veterinary event for RAM USA or for the events that are taking place on the 11th, 12th, 13th, go to their website and find out how RAM can help you with your medical needs. Thank you again to Dr. Connor and Deborah Starr for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Up Close on METV.